If you clicked on this video hoping for a new morning routine that's going to make you feel like Superman, I apologize. I do not have that for you, and it probably wasn't going to solve your problem anyway. The real reason that you're waking up unrefreshed, have low energy throughout the day, and need caffeine in order to perform at your best is because you're not getting truly restorative sleep. Specifically, you're not getting enough deep sleep. So in today's video, I want to explain what deep sleep is, its benefits, practices to implement, and things to avoid in order to increase your deep sleep. Now, before we get started, I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Trevor, and I help scaling entrepreneurs achieve consistent, high-quality sleep. All right, let's dive right in. So, what is deep sleep? And deep sleep is simply a stage of sleep. It's considered one of the most restorative stages of sleep. Now, there are 4 stages of sleep, and our bodies cycle between these stages roughly every 90 minutes through the night. And you have about 4 to 5 of these cycles in a single bout of sleep. Now, deep sleep primarily happens in the first half of the night. And when you go into deep sleep, your heart rate and breathing slow, your blood pressure goes down, and you become far less aware of the world around you, hence the name deep sleep. Now, why does deep sleep actually matter? Well, deep sleep is the biggest driver of how well rested you feel the next day. And deep sleep is when your body is doing the heavy lifting of clearing out adenosine. And adenosine is the molecule that makes us feel sleepy during the day. It's also the time when your body is physically repairing itself. It's repairing tissue, it's regenerating cells, and this is the time when growth hormone peaks, which is vital for our body to recover. Now, during this time, your brain also flushes out waste, which is crucial for preventing Alzheimer's. It also replenishes the brain's energy stores, and during deep sleep is the only time where our brain cortex actually fully shuts down. It's the only time where our brain cortex gets a chance to fully rest. And deep sleep also plays a key role in memory consolidation, immune function, and hormone regulation. And to feel optimally rested from deep sleep, roughly 15 to 25% of your total sleep should be deep sleep. And that's about 1 to 2 hours for most adults. Now, if you want to gauge how much deep sleep you're getting every night, you can use a sleep tracker, but they're not going to be entirely accurate. So I take it with a grain of salt. Another method is you can just record how well rested you feel after a night of sleep, especially how physically well rested you feel. And if you continue to feel more and more well rested, then your deep sleep is probably going up. Okay, how do we actually increase the quality and quantity of our deep sleep? And firstly, we need to avoid doing some things. We need to avoid having caffeine at the wrong time. So caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours. That means if you have a cup of coffee at 5 p.m., about half that cup of coffee can still be circulating in your system at 11 p.m. And what this does is it fragments your sleep. Caffeine blocks adenosine from working effectively. And so this prevents you from getting into those deeper stages of sleep. And more specifically, it makes you wake up more often throughout the night, hence the fragmentation. Now, you might not even be fully conscious of these wake ups, but they could still absolutely be happening. And this is especially the case in the first half of the night. And as we know, during the first half of the night is when we get the majority of our deep sleep. And the result of this is we get less deep sleep and lower quality deep sleep. So instead of having caffeine late in the afternoon or early evening, you want to avoid caffeine at least 10 to 12 hours before bed. And then we have alcohol. And alcohol, just like caffeine, fragments your sleep. And it might feel like alcohol actually helps you get deeper sleep, but alcohol just sedates you, and sedation is not sleep. Being unconscious from alcohol is not the same as sleep. Sleep is a very deliberate and active process. And if you're sedated, this means that you're getting less time in real deep sleep. Now, your tracker might show that you're getting more deep sleep after a night of drinking, but it actually is just detecting you being unconscious, and being unconscious looks similar to deep sleep. Now, if you are going to be drinking, try to stop at least 3 to 4 hours before bed if you want to preserve some of that deep sleep. Next, we have improper naps. Now, naps reduce your sleep pressure, and sleep pressure is one of the biggest drivers of deep The more sleep pressure we can build throughout the day, the more deep sleep we're going to get at night. Now, if you burn through this sleep pressure with something like a nap, then your body is going to have less of it to work with during the night. This means your sleep could be more fragmented and you might not get into those deeper stages of sleep. Now, if you do want to nap, keep it under 30 minutes and do not nap past the early afternoon. Finally, we have chronic stress, and chronic stress fragments your sleep. If your body is still in fight or flight when you get into bed, your sleep will be lighter and less restorative. If your body is still in that sympathetic state when you're going to bed, you're going to be more sensitive to external factors like a loud noise or bright light, and internal sensations like your stomach grumbling or the urge to pee. And these factors are going to increase the chances that you wake up throughout the night, and thus your sleep is fragmented. Now, like we talked about, you might not be conscious of these wake ups, but what these wake ups are doing is they're preventing your body from getting into that deeper stage of sleep. Now, to combat this, we need to build two habits. Firstly, a wind down routine. And this is something you do 1 to 2 hours before bed. And this helps your body shift from work mode into rest mode, from that sympathetic state into that parasympathetic state. Now, to do this, you can do something like breath work, you can stretch, you can listen to relaxing music, you can even read or take a hot bath, whatever you feel is making you more relaxed before bed. Second, you want to incorporate micro breaks throughout the day. Now, these are short 5 to 15 minute breaks that give you a reset and keep your stress levels from getting too high. These are things like going for a walk, doing some meditation, or just eating your breakfast or lunch or whatever meal without your phone and just being in the moment. These all can be relaxing and again, help shift your nervous system from a parasympathetic state to a sympathetic state. And like I said here, these breaks need to be effective, not just feel good. Scrolling on your phone, watching TV are probably not effective breaks. They're probably not actively shifting your nervous system from a sympathetic to a parasympathetic state. So I really want you to keep that in mind when you're doing these micro breaks. Okay, so what are some practices we can implement to increase the quality and quantity of our deep sleep? And firstly, exercise. And exercise is one of the most effective ways to have a positive impact on your deep sleep. Now, all forms of exercise are helpful, but aerobic exercise had the biggest impact on deep sleep. So any form of cardio, like swimming, running, biking, these are all going to be great for deep sleep. And the key word here is consistent. A single workout is going to help with your deep sleep, but being consistent with exercise is really what's going to move the needle long term. And a meta-analysis done by Dr. Youngstead supported this claim. And what they found was consistent exercise reliably increased the quality and quantity of people's deep sleep. The next practice we want to implement is temperature manipulation. And this is one of the most reliable ways to improve your deep sleep. And the first thing we want to do is cool down 1 to 2 hours before bed. So this is taking a hot bath or hot shower, turning on the AC, or opening up the windows. And the goal with this is to drop our core body temperature, because that's going to help us fall asleep faster and also get into deep sleep faster. And a warm bath or shower about 90 minutes before sleep, again, helps your core body temperature drop faster. And this is a key trigger for deep sleep. And one study found that doing this in particular added 18 minutes of deep sleep to participants' sleep. And that's roughly 15 to 30% increase in deep sleep for most adults. That's a significant chunk, considering we only get about 60 to 120 minutes of deep sleep a night. Secondly, you want to keep your room cool, somewhere between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if your room is cold, it's going to decrease the likelihood that your sleep is fragmented and that you're waking up out of those deeper stages of sleep. Next, we want to sleep more. The more you sleep, the more opportunities your body has to enter deep sleep. If you're currently sleeping under 7 hours a night, try to bump that number up to 7 hours. And this is one of the easiest ways to increase your deep sleep. Finally, you want to have a consistent sleep schedule. You want to be going to bed at roughly around the same time every night in order to improve the quality of deep sleep. Now, you can be off by 30 or even 60 minutes, but try to stay consistent. And the reason this works is because it trains your circadian rhythm to better time the release of growth hormone, something that peaks during deep sleep. And growth hormone is crucial for physical repair. So the better we can time it, the more release of growth hormone we can get, and the better quality of deep sleep we can achieve. And when your body knows when sleep is coming, when you have trained your circadian rhythm by going to bed at roughly the same time every night, it can prepare accordingly for it. Now, it only takes implementing a couple of these habits and making some tweaks to your current habits to start seeing an increase in the quality and quantity of your deep sleep. And again, this is so you can wake up feeling refreshed, have consistent energy throughout the day, and not have to rely so heavily on caffeine, instead of feeling like a fucking zombie every morning and also feeling like your sleep is not really restoring your physical or mental energy. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them below and I will answer them. And if you guys want more personalized support with improving your deep sleep or improving any aspect of your sleep, you can check the first link in the description to learn more about working with me in a one-to-one format. Thank you and take care.